Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your jumping card is the Four of Swords. I'm going to take this as your foundation, but before that you've got the Sun card as your key to the week, right? This is beautiful. Remember, the sun always brings blessings, right? And in a lot of ways, this suggests that this is going to be a much easier week for you. With the Four of Swords in tow as well, this could be a much more restful week for you. So if you felt agitated, if you felt out of sorts, if you felt like things are, if you're feeling a bit more energetic or highly strung than usual, or maybe more bogged down than usual, this week you are invited to take a rest, to take a minute, to take a beat. And because it is the Four of Swords as the foundation, it basically says this is a week to take things as they come, right? If you try to push against the energy, you're just going to tire yourself out. Enjoy the time that you have. Let this week be a slower, easier week. And more importantly, this would be a really good time to take some form of a vacation. Even if you can't travel, this would be a time where setting aside a day where you can literally do nothing or do what you please or what you find to be truly relaxing will be very beneficial for you this week. With that said, if you are a new subby, thank you so much for joining. And if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. For your actions and options this week, you have the Wheel of Fortune coupled with the Sun card. You better get to it, right? I love this. And as a combination, that is ultimate luck. That is ultimate power. If there's something that you need to apply for that you want, whether this is funding, a new job, this week you have the cosmic green light. This week you have the go ahead. Play the lottery, get the, put a bet down. Don't, bet your house, your kids and your mortgage on and the dog on the roulette table, as I always say. But with this kind of energy, you really do have the luck, right? So use it to your advantage. Now, for some of you, this looks like you could be planning some sort of long distance travel for the future. And maybe this is in anticipation of something. Like for some of you, it could be like, you know what? Okay, at the moment we can't do this or we can't go there or whatever, but that's not always going to be the case. So I'm booking that holiday for next year. I invite you to do so. I think it would be a really good way to alleviate some of the tension at this moment in time. The other thing with the Wheel of Fortune, it very often sees us in the right place at the right time. And with that Sun card, this week, if you find yourself taking a detour, if you find yourself in the wrong place, you're probably in the right place, all right? For your communications and conversations, you've got the Two of Pentacles. There's a boost to the finances this week that comes through some sort of either lucky break or it could be a hot tip, right? So this does suggest that you might have to be practical about something, or you might have to be, when I say quick to move on something, you might have to be very decisive about something this week, but the results or the rewards or the luck behind it could absolutely be there, which is great. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, if you find yourself being offered overtime more, do you know what I mean? It's like I will say this, remember that original combo with the Four of Swords. So this is supposed to be a more restful week for you. But if you choose to defer that in order to make more money, there is, there could be overtime. There could be even decisions about work-life balance for some of you this week as well. Especially for those of you that work for yourselves. Like this week, you could be getting a handle on that and saying, right, okay, what I do and how much I do of it versus how much time I'm having off is something that needs to be considered. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, this could literally be you trying to figure out ways to actually enjoy your time off or your retirement versus like worrying and stressing about what you don't have and what you ad nauseum. For your love and relations, you have the Hermit card, right? So interesting. The fact that you have this, for those of you that are single, This week, I think you're going to become acutely aware of that singledom. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're suddenly going to feel, I have to be with somebody now, but you are going to be looking at this, and for some of you, I actually feel like you're going to be enjoying being single, right? You're just going to have that feeling of, yeah, you know what? All right, there's no significant other, but it means I've got nobody to worry about. It means I've got nobody to answer to. Not that you should have to answer to your partner anyway, but you get my point, right? There's a sense this week of, yeah, okay, I'm single, but single equals free. All right, so enjoy that while it lasts. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments or relationships, this week, you and your partner are going to be considering some of the longer term plans that you've got and maybe taking them back to basics or back to the drawing board. In some way, shape or form, you're revising what the long term plans are and asking yourselves if they actually work for what it is that you really require, for what it is that you really, or where it is rather, that you really, want to take the relationship, or what you feel that next step might be or actually is. For your money and materials this week, you have the Knight of Wands, right? So very proactive when it comes to the finances. The money is good, but this week, to be honest with you, and it looks like you're being relatively sensible about it, but I don't see you really doing much to, when I say advance the finances, it's more a case of just enjoying what you have, right? And I'm all for that. I think we all, as people, and in the modern world, we work hard enough as it is. So it's really important to be able to enjoy life at the same time. And if that means buying yourself something extravagant, putting the deposit down on that holiday, going out for a really nice but possibly expensive meal, all of that kind of stuff, as long as it serves a purpose and a use this week, I think you're just going to be absolutely on it. And I actually really like that. Now, the Knight of Wands can increase the finances, but it will see you being more proactive about it. All right. And with that Two of Pentacles energy above it, it's almost like you're being really practical about advancing your finances, but you are determined to make it happen. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, I love this card for that, because it means that this week you're going to be a lot more active. With that Hermit card there as well, if I were to bring these two meanings in, for those of you that are partnered and coupled, this could be like a new health kick that you go on, maybe with a friend or a family member as well, possible. But this week, it's almost like you're determined to improve your health in some way. And I think you're going to get really proactive about that as well. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, for some of you, you could literally be welcoming in somebody from a different culture, different background, somebody that lives overseas. Like, there's an invite that you are making here, and someone is coming into the home, which I find very, very interesting. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.